Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminolly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, pulpy trash, Charles Dickens, disturbing books, and a counterculture classic. It's my November TBR. So every month I say to myself, I'm going to try and give myself a bit of room in my TBR so that I can pick up some other things as we go through the month. And every month when I come to film this video, I don't manage to do that. So I actually started filming this video earlier and then had to pause for various reasons and look to find a book and found a whole other load of books that I want to read. So I've ended up once again with quite a full TBR. So we will see how I get on in November. I can't guarantee I'm going to manage to read all of this, but I will give it a go. So yes, as I said, I've got a few different things in here. Quite a wide range of different stuff, I guess you'd say. So in terms of classics first then, so a while ago I set myself the challenge of reading 12 classic books, which were recommended by Michael K. Vaughan on his channel. This month I'm going to be reading Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. So that's the first, actually not the first. So the only other Charles Dickens book I've read is A Christmas Carol, which I did enjoy, but this is the first like big Dickens book. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how I get on with that. I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure. I think I'm going to like it because I think it's essentially popular fiction, but we shall see. And then my other classic for this month is I'm working my way through the Sherlock Holmes stories. So I'm reading the second of the, I don't know if you consider them novellas or novels, but The Sign of Four anyway, which I have read before and did quite enjoy. So looking forward to reading that again. And then after that, so in December, I get into the short stories, which I'm really looking forward to. I think it's The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which comes next chronologically. So yeah, looking forward to that. More detective stuff then. So I'm also going to be reading The High Window by Raymond Chandler. So I'm working my way through the Philip Marlowe books. I've got this nice Library of America volume, which has got 3 of the novels. So I've read The Big Sleep and Farewell My Lovely already. So The High Window is next. I do need to go back and read the short stories at some point. But yeah, I'm not quite sure when I'll fit those in. And then also for kind of book clubs, I've got my Birth Book Tag reading group, which I run. So for those of you who don't know, which may well be many of you, a while ago I created a book tag called the Birth Year Book Tag, where booktubers talked about their favourite book from their birth year. And I've compiled a list of all those books basically, and we are reading through them. So the one we've decided to read this month is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, which is from 1979, and that was the book of Animo Shoshin, whose channel is fantastic. I'll try and remember to leave a link to her channel in the description for the video, and do check it out. So yeah, I've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy before. My dad is a huge Hitchhikers fan. We used to listen to like the radio show when I was a kid, watch the TV show. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. I've read it a couple of times, once as a kid and once as an adult, but it is a really fun and very funny sci-fi book. So looking forward to that. And then also for a book club, so MJ from the channel Reading This Life has a book club that she runs on her Discord server, and their pick for November is Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bazterrica, so I'm going to be reading that along with them. This is a bit of a cheat for me because this is also one of the books that's on my list of 14 disturbing books that I'm going to be reading. So a few weeks ago I put up a video reviewing a book called Notice by Heather Lewis, which I said was the most disturbing book I've ever read, and loads of people in the comments have suggested other books that are disturbing, which I'm going to work through. So this is one of those, so it's a bit of a buy one get one free if you like for me, because I'm reading it for my disturbing book project, but also for MJ's book group. So other disturbing books then, I've put a poll up on my community tab with 4 disturbing books from that list of 14, so that people can pick the first one I read. So I will read this before I read Tender is the Flesh. So 3 of them I've got in paperback. Those are Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Brite, The Room by Hubert Selby Jr., and Cows by Mathhew Stokoe. And the 4th book that's in that poll is The 120 Days of Sodom by the Marquis de Sade. So that's up to you guys out there, which of the books I read first. I will check that poll on the 1st of November, and whichever one has got the most votes is the first disturbing book I will read. And if people want to read along, they're more than welcome to. So I've created a channel on my Discord server, and feel free to join in and discuss the books on there. Other things I'm going to be reading this month then. So as I'm reading the Dickens, I thought I would also read this, Drood by Dan Simmons, which features Charles Dickens as a character, as well as Dickens's real-life friend Wilkie Collins, the author. So this was very kindly sent to me by a subscriber, Rick Croucher, a while ago. Rick said he thought it was a really, really interesting book, and he was intrigued to see what I thought of it. So I thought this was a fitting month to read it. As I'm reading the Dickens. I do really like Dan Simmons, so I've read a bunch of his books when I was a lot younger, and more recently I read The Terror, which I thought was excellent. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this, and thanks again, Rick, for sending it through to me. And then I'm also going to be reading the Illuminatus Trilogy by Robert Shea and Anton Wilson. So this was talked about a while ago by Jason Harrigan on his channel. It's a book that I certainly had the first volume of it when I was a kid, but never got around to reading it. But it's an underground classic that mixes together kind of conspiracy theories and all sorts of other stuff. So I don't really know what to expect, but I am quite looking forward to it. Other things then, so I've got some pulpy goodness here. So regular viewers of the channel will know that there are three, well, there are technically 4 pulp series, but one of them I've kind of fallen by the wayside a bit on, which is the Gore series by John Longman. But these 3 other series I'm still reading through. So I have Executioner number 16, Sicilian Slaughter by Jim Peterson. So this is the first Executioner book that wasn't written by Don Pendleton. So it'll be interesting to see how a different author does with the character of Mac Bolan. I've got book 17 in the Edge series, which is Vengeance Valley by George G. Gilman. So these are British westerns from the 70s, which are fantastically brutal and very entertaining. And then I've got the survivalist book 9, Earthfire, by Jerry Ahern, which has got a space shuttle on the cover, which really thrills the kind of 80s kid in me. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. I'm enjoying the survivalist series the most out of all of these pulpy series I'm reading at the moment, I think. And then also got a couple of horror books to read which I've picked up recently. So I've got Baxter by Jessica Hamilton, which is also known as Hellhound by Ken Greenhall, which is a killer dog book, which is supposed to be very good. And then also got The Cat by Berton Roueche. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Oh no, it's Roueche, Berton Roueche. So this is also known as Feral, so I think it was published in the States as Feral. This was very kindly sent to me by Nadine at the channel Tome Raider, who had read it, and I was looking for a copy, so she chucked me hers. So thanks again for that, Nadine. So yeah, a couple of killer animal books to read. So looking forward to those. And then finally have a bit of comic book goodness. So I've got this Vault of Horror anthology from EC Comics, which I picked up a while ago. It's actually from Dark Horse, I think. Yeah, so collecting comics from the EC Comic Vault of Horror. I love the old EC Comics. I think they're absolutely fantastic. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this. It's even got like old adverts and things like that in it, so that should be really, really fun. And then also got this absolute whopper, which is Death Note by, I've got no idea who it's by, Tsugomi Oba. So yes, I don't know a great deal about Death Note, other than people seem to think it's really good. I got this in a deal on Amazon. It seemed like too good a price to pass up on, and it's absolutely huge. It's a single volume with the whole of Death Note in it. It's 2,400 pages. So we will see how I get on with that, and probably more importantly, see what the book looks like when I finish reading it. I suspect it won't look quite as pristine as this anymore. But yeah, looking forward to that one as well. So those are the things that I'm thinking about reading this month. If you want to have a say in what I read, then do vote in that poll to pick my first disturbing book. And as I say, if you want to read along with that, then hop onto my Discord and you can do that. Similarly, if you want to get involved in the read along of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, jump onto the Discord. We'll be having a discussion about it there. And if you want to read Tender as the Flesh, then jump onto MJ at Reading This Life, her Discord. I'll leave a link to all of them in the description for the video. Okay, time for a random book from the shelves. Today I've got The Horror Stories of Robert E. Howard. So I have read some of these over the years. I picked up this collected edition from, who's it from? Is it Del Rey? Yeah, from Del Rey a little while ago, and I've been meaning to dive into it, so I need to read this at some point because I really like Robert E. Howard. I really like his horror stories in particular. So yes, not one I'm going to be reading this month, I don't think, but I will read it soon for sure. So hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know if you've read any of the books I talked about, whether there's any you think I should dive into first. Do vote in the poll to pick my first disturbing book. That will be up until the 1st of November. And do hop onto the Discord if you want to join in either the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy read-along or the Disturbing Book read-along. Be great to have as many people doing that as possible. It's always good to have discussions with people when you're reading through a book. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.